Hi there, it's Eric here from Living Free Van Life. I hope you're all well and welcome back to another week of my YouTube channel, where today I want to tell you guys basically where I bought the materials from my van. I had been doing a little bit of research before I started the van build to have a look for suppliers all over the country, and I kept coming up with an issue, which was in some cases I'd have to wait up to 3 weeks for delivery. And I'm a bit impatient and I want things tomorrow, so I decided to have a look a bit closer to home, and where I accidentally actually discovered where to buy my furniture board and other bits from were B&Q. Now, everybody had asked about building vans. Nobody had ever says try B&Q for your furniture board and everything else that I needed in the van. So I took a trip down to my local B&Q and I discovered they do sell furniture board, and obviously they sell everything DIY that I could use to build this van. So where did I start? Well, I started obviously where all us van builders start. We clear the van out, get rid of all the old wood and all the old garbage and rubbish that people have stuffed in all sorts of weird crevices in the van, and we give it a good jet wash out. And once it were all jet washed out, I could see if it needed any welding, any rust treatment, if it needed anything addressing before we started putting the internals of the van in, because obviously once you put the internals of the van in, you can't really get back in to fix anything without pulling literally everything out of your van. So started with a really good base. The floor didn't need any welding whatsoever. The floor was absolutely fantastic. You know, I was absolutely over the moon with flooring van. No welding whatsoever. The previous owner of it had looked after this van. So yeah, it was really quite an easy job for me. I was really lucky, especially for a van that's maybe 13-14 years old. I expected some welding somewhere, but I haven't come across it yet, so fingers crossed, guys. So what I started with first is obviously the old roofing lats and the Celotex board. B&Q have got an absolute list of different Celotex boards, different sizes, different widths. You know, it's something that you'd have to go down yourself and have a nosy at, work out what you want and go down, and you'll be able to buy exactly what you need. The roofing battens, sell the roofing battens there. They worked out at a couple of quid more expensive than going to like a roofer's merchant, but if I'm being honest, my time and the fuel in the car and getting there, and trying to buy from some roofing merchants that obviously want to only sell to trade, I just thought, sod it, it's all under one roof, I'm only doing one trip and I can get on with van. And at the same time I went and bought 3 sheets of 9mm ply, and that was to create the floor. So I glued the battens down to the floor, I filled all the holes in with Celotex, and then I sheeted it over with 9mm ply, and that created my floor in the van, which, to be honest, more or less straight away you could feel the difference. Obviously, you know, there wasn't no tinny, it was strange, you could feel the difference anyway straight away. My next job was the roof of the van. The roof of the van, I wanted it to be flat. Obviously all vans are kind of got a bit of a contour going on, so I wanted it to be an absolute flat roof, to make my job easier when I'm scribing in the furniture board, and to give the, you know, to take that dome look away from when you put your lights on, you end up with shadows, and I wanted to try and avoid that. So went down to B&Q looking for lengths of wood, because I wanted wood that goes from front to back in one long piece, and then I could bridge it in between. I'll put a picture up here so you can see what I ended up doing. And then B&Q sell, it's a 3mm white board. I can only describe it as what's on the back of people's wardrobes and drawers. It is a furniture board. I were worried about the moisture, obviously, that vans end up you know, retaining. And I were worried that it were going to drop onto the ceiling and it were going to damage roof, and then it were a pain in the backside. I'd have to pull everything out, put a new roof in. So I did a little looking round. Quite a few people have used this stuff. They have says put some PVA on back of it, make it as waterproof as you can. So that's what I've done so far. We're into 6 months, and I keep checking on it, and we ain't got no damp spots yet. So that seems to have worked. I got 2 sheets for the van, and that turned out to be more than adequate for what I needed for the ceiling of my van. Once I did that, I went and got the recycled bottle. It's like a wool insulation, a bit like, you know, the fiberglass insulation you get, but this is the rock wool insulation you get, but this is made out of recycled bottles. I got 4 boxes of it for this van, and some heat resistant glue, sorry, get my words out my mouth, and I put it in every nook and cranny. I put it on all the walls, in all the doors, back doors, side doors. I put it on all the walls, in every nook and cranny, all over the van, and that was my insulation done. What I put over that was the bubble wrap. The rolls of bubble wrap. I put that down the walls as my vapor barrier. It's quite an interesting conversation out there. Do you use a vapor barrier? Do you let your van breathe? I've put a vapor barrier down because I want to try and keep some heat in van, and obviously when it's summer I want to try and keep some heat out. I will be building another van in maybe, you know, 3 or 4 years time, so realistically this van's going to teach me some stuff, and see if it works. So for me it's going to be trial and error. People on the internet say don't use a vapor barrier, and some people say do. Let's see if it works. From there, what I did then is I put 5.5mm board down both sides of the van. I was really lucky that when I got the van, the boards on the walls were in not bad condition at all. They weren't the cleanest in the world, but it wasn't all that I couldn't wash off, and it wasn't going to get covered with carpet anyway. So I reused the boards in the van. I know somebody who's already converted one of these vans, and he used 4 boards for the walls of his vans, 4x8 sheets or 8x4 sheets of 5.5mm board that he got from Wicks. But obviously B&Q also sell it. What else did I do then? So then that were the basics of the inside of the van. It were insulated, it had the ceiling I wanted, it had the floor that you know, keep the warmth in the van. So then I thought, before anything goes in, I'm going to put the 4-way stretch carpet on. So I got in total 8 linear meters, and for people out there that don't know what linear meter is, a linear meter is 1 meter by 2 meter. So I got 8 linear meters. Obviously, 4 down one, 4 down other, and whatever were left over has gone on to door cards and anything else that to be honest, I needed it to go on to. And instantly, the warmth in the van were absolutely fantastic, and I like the look. In my previous van I had black or a dark anthracite grey, and there were no light in van. It just seemed a bit dark and enclosed in. This stuff, at the minute I've only got the LED strips on it van, and it does throw the light around, which is exactly what I wanted it to do. So yeah, this was an eBay purchase. There's loads of people selling it, absolutely loads of people selling it. You know, you can shop around, you get it for about £10 a linear metre, and if you're really lucky they'll throw in high temperature glue, spray glue in with it, so that won't be a problem. So yeah, the 4-way stretch carpet, eBay, absolutely amazing. Then what I did, once I did the walls, sorry, before I did the carpeting, I put the windows in. These windows were from a company in Castleford, called Specialist Van Windows, Speedwell Road in Castleford. They've got glass for any type of van. the side with sliders, the back windows. They've got any type of glass for any type of van. They also do a fitting service. I'd been hooked on YouTube by this point, so I didn't need the fitting service. I just watched a couple of videos on YouTube, and the videos on YouTube, it was a straightforward job. It was follow a line that basically goes around window with a jigsaw. There's lots of videos out on YouTube if you want to go watch them. It is a job that anyone can do. Just take your time, don't use a grinder, use a jigsaw. Take your time. 2 people can do it in roughly 3 hours. That's all it took for me to do it. Anyway, 2 windows, 2 rubber seals that go around the windows to hold the sides of the van together, and the bonding agent that goes on the van for you to stick it to the van. In total, 250 quid, which I didn't think were too bad for 2 privacy glass windows. Two fitting kits for each window and 2 rubber seals for each window. The guys down at Vans Specialist Windows are absolutely fantastic. They'll answer any questions you've got, and they'll give you loads of advice. They're really, really approachable. So once I got the windows in and once I got the 4-way stretch carpet on, it was down to furniture board. This is obviously the furniture board I've gone, which is a light oak. This was bought from B&Q. In B&Q, they've got lengths that are 600 wide, 500 wide, 400 wide, and 300 wide. They do it in 2 different lengths. One's 240, which just shy of 2.5 meters long, or they do one that's about 1.5 meters long, just over 1.5 meters long. I obviously went for the longest boards I could, because the price difference from the short ones to the long ones, you're getting more or less double the amount for an extra tenner. So yeah, that's basically what I did. B&Q do 4 different sizes. They do a black, they do a white, they do this colour, which is obviously the pine, and then they do a grey anthracite colour. I've used the anthracite colour. It's a really nice colour, but yet again, it doesn't bounce light around, but it's everyone's preference. I couldn't have white, you know, I can't keep white clean to save my life. So I went for this pine colour. I'm really happy with it, to be honest with you. They also sell the edging strips. The edging strip for this wood is really easy to put on. It's just a case of cut it to whatever you want it, get the edging strip and iron it on. It's so easy. It doesn't destroy your iron neither. Iron it on and then trim it off with a Stanley blade, and that's as hard as it is. I got my night heater from Facebook Marketplace. £60, brand new in a box. Someone obviously wanted to fit it to their T4 or T5 campervan conversion, and they never got round to doing it, so they obviously got rid of the van, and that was surplus to requirement. 60 quid, it were an absolute steal. I fit it to the van and it works absolutely lovely. The next thing I've bought is obviously the sink. It were another Facebook Marketplace find, £15. There's lots of them out there. Just have a good scroll around. Sometimes it's worth travelling a little bit further for something you want. I went down to Sheffield for mine and kids sold me it for 15 quid. What else he had there was a truck microwave, which is an ultra low watt amp microwave. And I managed to prize that out of his hands for £35, which, if we've all looked around for low power microwaves, I've not seen one for less than 170 quid. So for £35, I snapped it out of his hands, and I've actually got it fit inside my camper van. Next thing is the mattress. The bedding area, is 3x2s. Now, I've seen lots of YouTube channels where they buy the metal stays from IKEA. I didn't actually come across them until after I built the bed. So that's why my bed's actually made out of CLS 3x2 wood. It's a nice strong frame. I'll put a picture up here of the frame that I created. It's a really strong frame. It makes a great garage area. I can hang stuff underneath and fasten stuff to it. So yeah, I use 3x2. The 3x2 I used, I think it was 24 quid it cost me, which were actually cheaper than the metal runners that you buy from IKEA. True Yorkshireman, trying to find everything on a budget. The mattress were, there's plenty of companies on Facebook Marketplace selling them now. I was really lucky. I got this mattress brand spanking new, fresh out at factory, and I got it for £90, which to me, I've never bought a mattress for £90 ever in my life. I don't know what I were expecting. I wasn't expecting a brand new mattress, I don't think, but when he turned up, he had a van full of brand new mattresses, and it's like just pulled one straight out and went, there you go, that's yours. I gave him 90 quid and he were off. So it's a really comfy mattress. I've done well. Ultimately, I think what this video is about is shopping round, having a nosy about at what's out there. Some of this furniture board here, I actually got 2 limps of it from Facebook Marketplace, because somebody was facing off their wardrobes at home and decided at end not to do it, and I got 2 sheets of this for 50 quid instead of going to B&Q and getting it for something like 86 quid. So these savings to be had everywhere. You know, just shop around, have a nosy. You'll get everything you need for your van. You know, Marketplace is amazing, eBay is amazing, and some of your local DIY shops actually sell stuff that, you know, you probably didn't think they were going to sell, because people tend to think campervan stuffs are for campervan retail as well. Some of this stuff's got more than just one use in campervans. I've also got uses for inside people's houses. The LED lights, yet again, it's an L channel that's screwed into the ceiling, and it's got a diffuser on it, and then LED lights run along it, and that's what my uplighters are, that go all the way around the van. They were yet again 12 volt LED strip lights. I think they worked out at £5.60 a length. I got 4 of them, and I put all 4 in my van, and they throw so much light out there, and they don't hardly use any power. I'm absolutely surprised that they use very little power. I've got 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 downlighters, 6 round LED downlighters. Yet again, I think they were like 20 odd quid. I put 4 straight down the centre of the van, and I put 2 above my sliding door, and it gives it a professional finish. From somebody who's not a tradesman or a joiner or anything. I'm really happy with how this van's turned out. So guys, we're obviously coming to the end of today's video. Next week I'm going to fit what I can only think or describe is the cheapest 12 volt TV out there into the van, and I'm going to use my phone to run it, and I'm not going to use a Fire Stick. So yeah, if you've liked me waffling on about talking about my camper van and where I bought all the materials, or if you've got any questions about, you know, where would you buy this, where could you buy that, or where did you buy whatever I've bought, put it down in the comment section. I'll get straight back to you, and I'll tell you where I've bought all my stuff for inside my van, and give you a heads up on where to go. And you know, money don't grow on trees. We're all under a budget, and I think I don't think I've done too bad in this van, to build this van in a budget. It's going to be another video of how much this van's actually cost to build, from including the van and all the materials, and I've got all that written down, so I'll do one of them videos in the not too distant future. So yeah, please like and subscribe. It helps me, it helps the algorithm for people to obviously hear what I've got to say, and ultimately I'm trying to change my career and go into YouTubing, which I've always wanted to do. So yeah, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And for now, have a really good week, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.